Hi, Professor. This presentation summarizes my sim2real reinforcement learning framework for donkey cart racing on JSON Nano, and the key idea is simple. So transfer is a system alignment problem, not just a policy training problem. And the transfer gap is broader than weak policy. A policy that works in simulation doesn't directly keep its assumptions on the real car. So the gap comes from four coupled sources: visual distribution, steering dynamics, lidar timing, and JSON runtime limits. And the framework separates those gaps into measurable modules. Simulated reinforcement learning and real log behavior cloning provide pipelines and baselines, and dynamics correction, lidar pre-processing, observation normalization, and runtime monitoring form the transfer bridge. So the newest code V17 makes scan freshness and adapted actions part of the policy design. V17 uses image equal state, lidar scannage, and domain ID inputs fused through FILM and recurrent PPO actor. It outputs adapted actions rather than raw PWM, so correction can happen outside the network. And real and simulated cars also respond differently to steering after fixing the yaw rate access definition. Simulator gain is about 1.3095 and the real gain is about 1.0723, about a 22% gap. So I use 0.82 action side ratio as a first order correction. And the lidar helps perception, but it is expensive on JSON Nano. The lidar rate is only 6.32 Hz. With lidar enabled, P95 latency rises to 202.5 milliseconds in shadow mode and 400.7 milliseconds in active mode, far above the 50 millisecond budget for 20 Hz control. And in offline replay, RL plus lidar has the lowest near-range no-response rate, like 0.16. That suggests better near-range action behavior, but is not closed-loop avoidance success. The next step is controlled closed-loop testing and pre-fueling. And at the end, thank you to Professor Hao Wang for guidance and resources. I really welcome your feedback.